Alright, so just a quick look around Georgia athletics right now at 4 o'clock. This is being recorded at 3:58. At 4 o'clock, the Georgia volleyball team will take on NC State in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I really do not know why that's being played all the way in Arkansas. But hey, Georgia is 8-1. We're going to make it 9-1 this season. I really liked what I've seen. There's been all kind of records and everything set from Georgia this year. I'm gonna turn that around so you can actually see the G on it. There. Um, However, with this being said, September 15th they play North Carolina State. And then Saturday at 7 o'clock, probably the biggest game of the year. Georgia will take on Georgia Tech. We need y'all to come out to Stegman Coliseum. That game will be on the SEC Network Plus, a late night game. We need y'all to come out to Stegman Coliseum. Come support the Georgia volleyball team. You're gonna have a fun time. I mean, if you decide to come out, I appreciate it. You will have a fun time. You will have, especially if we win. Any day is a great day to beat Georgia Tech. But if you do come out, you will have a fun time. I promise. I guarantee it. So now we'll switch over to Georgia soccer, 62 of the year, and we closed out conference play versus USF Sunday. Today we will play Texas A&M at 8. Or wait, is that tomorrow? Okay, so they're actually playing tomorrow. Sorry, the first day kind of throws me off. Georgia soccer team usually plays on Thursday. Friday, which will be tomorrow, Georgia will play Texas A&M in College Station. Let's see the history. I'm actually curious about the team history. Georgia is not good. That is not good. So Georgia has only beaten Texas A&M once, and that was in 2015, 2-1. So Georgia is 1-7 versus Texas A&M. Oh, that is that is not good. Overall record this year, we are 6-2. We're going to beat Texas A&M. We've seen it against North Florida. You didn't necessarily see it versus South Florida, but North Florida, you saw Georgia could get no offense going. They would get many great looks, but they couldn't end up scoring. At the end of the day, Georgia did win 1-0. And then at UCF, Georgia still had a few chances. But we did score more in that game than we did versus North Florida. We won that game 2-0. Yeah, 2-0. We beat North Florida 1-0. And with the main part of this is we'll talk about the basketball schedules. We're going to do that in a whole separate thing. We'll also talk about the Ice Dogs. Georgia hockey returns tomorrow night. We'll also talk about that along with the soccer game a little more. But Georgia baseball schedule, at least the conference slate, has come out. I have proofread it, so now we can read it now together. I'm trying to pull it up. It's going to take me a minute because my internet is not that good. And I got to say something as well about the baseball team, but it's a tough schedule. I mean, if you thought last year was tough, look at this one. Alright, here we go. I got it pulled up. This is from GeorgiaDolls.com, so I'm quoting this technically. But Georgia opens up the SEC play for the 2023 baseball season. Was announced, or Georgia's schedule was released Wednesday by the league office. The Bulldogs will play 30-game conference slate when it will start when the Volunteers. So I was saying Georgia will open up versus Tennessee March 17th through 19th. The other 4 home series will be Kentucky, Arkansas, South Carolina, and LSU. Georgia's road series will be in Nashville at Vanderbilt, Missouri, Auburn, Florida, and Ole Miss. The non-conference would be announced later on in the year. But this, Georgia's SEC schedule. So if we're just predicting this just off of last year, I mean, because before I say that, Georgia lost the series to Kentucky, if I remember correctly. Georgia should have not lost that series. I have the schedule pulled up right here. We're gonna look it up. I think Georgia lost that series, if I'm correct. Yeah, we lost the series to Kentucky. Georgia had no business losing some of the series we did last year. I mean, it was very shocking to see Georgia lose some of the games we lost last year. But this will be a new schedule, a new season of Georgia baseball. And I'm just going to keep it honest with you. You're going to have to win some of these series, man. I mean, you can't lose to Kentucky. As of right now, I think we win one game versus Tennessee. We should sweep Kentucky, but realistically, 2 wins, 1 or 2 wins versus Arkansas, swept by Carolina, swept by LSU, 1 or 2 wins versus Vanderbilt, sweep Missouri. You should be Auburn, and then the Florida series is always very tricky. As last year Georgia won it, but the year before Florida won it in 2021. The regionals, the SEC tournament returns to Hoover, May 23rd, 28th. Super regionals, June 25th, June 9th for the Super Regionals. The regular regionals are on the June 2nd. The Super Regionals, June 9th. And then the College World Series, June 16th. Here's my problem. Georgia fans do not like Coach Strickland. And I think that's bullcrap. Because Coach Strickland is one of the best coaches to do it, in my opinion. What Georgia fans are going to do, as not many of them watch the baseball program. I mean, sure, Georgia can sell out a baseball stadium, but they're not never going to have to base like the football team has, which that's bullcrap as well. I think you should be able to support everybody, but they're going to whine and cry until they get what they want. For instance, they whined and cried for years. They wanted Mark Richt gone. They got Mark Richt gone. So the Georgia fan base is not going to stop crying until they get what they want. And that's the sad reality. And the sad reality of that is going to cost Coach Strickland his job. One of these days, the performance has nothing to do with it. Coach Strickland has done an amazing job. And now he's getting new stuff. They announced that the baseball practice facilities was getting upgraded a few months ago. That the stadium, I believe the stadium's getting facilities. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. I do know for a fact the practice facilities is getting upgraded and stuff. But I have never. And the worst part is the people who are whining about it don't even watch the baseball program. They won't know. You see, here's what the problem is. You'll hear me say this many times when we get the men's basketball season. People shove their nose in places it does not belong into. Like, as a Georgia basketball fan, I have no right to be saying what the football teams are doing. And, sometimes I do, but it's mostly minor stuff. If I was an athletic director, you'd be hearing a whole bunch of it, but that's not the case right now. That's not the case right now. But Georgia football fans who know nothing about what's going on at the baseball program should not be talking, because 90% of Georgia athletic fans are just football fans. They don't follow baseball. They don't follow basketball. They don't do what I'm doing right now, talking about baseball, soccer, and volleyball. They dang sure ain't going to know about the hockey team. They don't know. And it gets off with me, man, because Coach Strickland is doing a great job. He don't, out of all the coaches in the SEC, Coach Strickland does not deserve to be fired at all. And people are gonna cry and whine until they get what they want, and that will probably mean him getting fired one of these days. And it's not even because Georgia's losing; it's because the fans are crying and bitching about it. But yeah, Georgia baseball schedule out. This is going to be a challenging year for Georgia, but I think that we could pull it out. We could, we're always going to harp on 2020. Georgia should have made the World Series that year. That was a heartbreaking way to miss out of the World Series. But yeah, this is the baseball season is almost right around the corner, guys. After the after Labor Day, everything goes by quickly. We're already in um, September. We'll be in March and February right before you know it. So with that being said, we'll end things right here. We'll talk about Georgia hockey returns tomorrow. We'll talk about that and the volleyball game Saturday versus Georgia Tech. So let's go, Dogs.